Hi there, welcome back to another video. My name is Monica of Millie and Monica, and I am a full-time reseller on both Poshmark, eBay, and just starting to dabble in Depop, so we'll see how that goes. If you're new to my channel and not really sure who Millie is actually the mannequin, and she and I model most of the clothing that I sell on those platforms. So today's thrift haul is, of course, a Goodwill outlet thrift haul. It's my favorite place to get my inventory or the items that I sell. So this particular day, this week that I went, I was only there for like an hour and a half, an hour and like 40 minutes, I guess. And I found about 50 pieces, I think, total. Some of them I set aside to take to some buy, sell, trade places. A couple items I will need to do a little bit more mending on. And I did spend $80. My Goodwill outlet prices are $1.49 a pound. So that's kind of what we're working with here. I think I might have left out a few items. Again, if I'm not going to be selling them right away, I usually don't include them in the haul. But if you are interested in any of the items that you see, you can always check out the links to my shops down below. Most of these items should be listed by the time you see this video. Okay, so I found some really incredible vintage items. I was patient and waited for the new bins to come my way when they were rolling them out, and I felt like I kind of hit the Cottagecore jackpot, I guess you could say. So I do have some really fun finds in here. I also have some modern finds. Nothing like that's gonna make me the major bank here, but this is just my bread and butter, what I love to sell, and it's what fills my bucket. So first things first, the reason I spent so much on this trip is because I have a lot of heavy items. And so in particular is this vintage men's snowsuit. And I've sold a couple of these before, actually very similar coloring. So I know that I can get between like $40 and maybe $75 on these. This one's in really good condition, and it was definitely worth picking up, even though it's a heavier item and probably weighs like 4 pounds, but that's perfectly fine with me. It still would have been priced a lot higher at a regular thrift store or a yard sale. So it is a 70s like vintage snowsuit, and it's insulated, quilted. It has zippers down the sides. It's take size men's large. It probably could be worn as a unisex item for the right lady, and it's just a really, really fun piece. So I do love these. It does have like this belt at the waist. There's a little bit of elastic in there as well. So that was one of the really heavy items that I picked up. And then this was probably one of my favorites. I love a good pair of overalls. I talk about them, or have talked about them, a lot. But this is a pair of 90s Mickey Mouse embroidered overalls. They're actually short alls, I guess. So they're kind of a longer inseamed cargo style short. And I just love picking up the embroidered kind of novelty pieces. And so it is Mickey. If you're a lover of Disney World, Disneyland, I think these would be so fun for someone to wear while going there. And they are a size medium. They're kind of an oversized fit though. So that was a fun find. This is a modern piece. It's actually made well, and it's a size small. I forget the name. I think it's I'm not even going to say the style name of this one because I've already forgotten, but it is listed, and it is a newer style by Madewell. So what I love about Madewell is that typically if they have their material tags here, you can go and find the style number, and this one, I'm having an issue finding it at the moment. Oh, there we go, on the little tag here. So it actually says fall of 19, so it's not even that old, and it has the style number in there. So hopefully you can see that. So it's very easy to look up the style of this item. And this is just a basic Zara piece. It is a flannel, extra small, red and blue classic. So I love that. And it's got the snap instead of an actual button. So it's a little toasty in here. Okay, this is just a vintage slip or nightgown, most likely nylon. The tag on it is like completely worn away, but it is vintage, and you can just kind of tell after you've felt enough of these vintage nightgowns, you can just kind of tell. It is kind of hard for me to date personally because the tag is so worn, Sometimes they will have a union tag in there, which is really helpful, but it does feel like nylon. Do love the lace. It is super long. Most likely to me, it wouldn't have been worn as a slip unless it was worn with a maxi dress. It's most likely a nightgown. Okay, this is a really fun piece and definitely added to the weight of my cart. Okay, this is a poncho, and I love the knit on this. So it's an extra large, although ponchos like this are often tagged one size, so I thought it was interesting that it actually had a size. So very beautiful knit, very light wear on it. Fringe there, and it's absolutely gorgeous piece. So if you like wearing ponchos in the winter, that'd be a good piece for you, or fall. And this here is just a classic grandpa sweater. It is a men's, but can be worn unisex. And it's extra large, this blue and green. And it's acrylic. Just a fun, oversized, cozy sweater. This was one of my favorite finds. And I could not believe that it was still in the bin. Because it was the very first bin when you walk in, and like they have arrows now because of COVID. They have like arrows where you have to kind of follow them and keep within a certain flow. And when you walk in the doors, that was the first bin, and somehow this was still there when I walked in. So definitely 80s, 90s, classic style, funky sweater. It is a kind of Southwest design, longer line fit, and it's a size extra large. But I love this leather fringe detail. It's absolutely so fun, and it's called the Pioneer Wear acrylic. So at least it feels like acrylic. Actually, it doesn't say there. So love this piece. Really fun find just because it's so funky and weird. And sometimes the weirder a vintage item is, it's kind of like, you got to try that out. Okay, and this is just a very basic, I think the next few pieces are pretty basic pieces as far as branding. This is a J. Jill, size large, skirt, and it's kind of that faux leather or faux suede. So it's a poly, but it feels like suede, although it's not. It's lined. This is, I just love this actually, and it's just American Eagle. It's American Eagle, extra small. It's a semi-crop cheetah print denim jacket, and I just absolutely love this style. I think it's so cute. I think our upstairs like hallway closet is full of denim jackets. I have so many different styles, and unfortunately I cannot add any more to it because the closet is so full. This is just a classic vintage skirt. It is tag size 8, but fits more like an extra small. It didn't quite fit the mannequin. It feels like a possibly wool blend. I'm not exactly sure. And it does have side pockets, which is so nice, and it's fully lined. So a nice quality skirt here. And on a similar style is this vintage Anne Klein skirt. This one's union made. It does have the wool tag there, and it's a wrap style skirt. However, the button fronts here are missing, so it still has the original buttons, but whatever like front it had is fallen off. I'm just gonna leave them as is, but I do love that it's a wrap style, and so it just fully opens up, and I think the union tag is right there. So like I was talking about with those nightgowns, sometimes you'll find these union tags in the vintage nightgowns. So, and a very classic kind of charcoal black gray color. Alrighty, and this is a pair of Zara again. I actually really like these. These remind me of an 80s, 90s style pair of jeans. It's definitely what they were kind of going for here. It's Zara. They're a size 6, black. They are cropped, kind of tapered leg jean with the studded detail, and they have an elastic waist and an incredibly high rise. So this is a fun pair of denim to find. And then it's just some really basic pairs. This pair actually has some wear, but I picked it up because it is 7 for All Mankind, and they're the Guinevere style. They have kind of a skinny leg. They do have some distressing, which is fine, but they actually have a little bit of staining somewhere in kind of here, so I didn't list these very high because of that. And then Articles of Society. This is a brand I see all the time in my thrift stores. I rarely come across it at the bins. And at thrift store prices, I haven't picked these up, so I'm curious to actually try these out, see how they do. They are high rise. They're size think 29, 28. The last couple pairs of jeans I think are around that size, 28, 29. So, but these are a high rise. They're 9.5-inch rise. They do have a skinny leg, raw hem, so just a very nice style. And then we have a pair of Pilcro jeans. They are pink, light pink, and these are size 29, and these are a kind of cropped length. So that'd be fun, very fun for spring. I don't know, I'm ready for spring, and it's not even the middle of February. It's so cold here in Minnesota, and it's actually been a really mild winter, but now that we're dipping down into the single and then negative digits, it just gets old. So anyways, a blue and gray. This is just a really nice, again, basic sweater, drop shoulder sleeve, and kind of a longer line fit with these side slits. Very flattering style in my opinion, and I do believe it's a wool blend, 54% wool. Personally, when I modeled it, I did not think it was itchy, and it feels very soft just holding it now. And then we have this Banana Republic size 12, very long maxi linen blend dress. So this is a very long dress, and I think I measured it around like 55 inches in total length, which is quite long. I can't remember quite, but it does have some discoloration along the hem, and a couple of areas there's kind of like blue, like right there. And I'm not quite sure if that's like color bleed or what that is, but I also don't think it's that big of a deal because it's so far at the bottom, and it has belt loops. Obviously, I think it's missing its original belt, but so many different types of belts could be added, and it has side pockets, and it's lined. I feel like this would be great for a vacation, a beach vacation, or if you live in Florida right now, maybe that'd be perfect. That's where I'd love to be, Florida. Okay, I still have like, I think they're all mixed up. I didn't like combine these pieces well in terms of like modern and vintage, so excuse me, you're getting it all just jumbled up. This is another really lovely like 80s 90s style, bold florals, kind of along the cottagecore lines. It is like a button front dress, and it's dead stock, but it's missing one button right here, which is a terrible spot to be missing a button. So here's what I'm going to do. Because this is obviously a very novel button, I'm not going to be able to go to Joann's and pick up the same style button. It would be just impossible to find. So instead of replacing all of the buttons, I'm actually just going to move the very last button, the bottom button, and I'm going to move it to this spot and probably just leave a bottom button missing and just disclose that in the listing. Because a lot of times with these dresses, it's just going to have a shorter slit. Like, I think that'd be just fine for anyone who's really trying to wear this, but this button is essentially like the worst button to be, one of the worst buttons to be missing. So I definitely will just go ahead and move that button, and it won't be a problem, hopefully. But I do love this style of dress. It's hard to tell now, but it has this really lovely scalloped neckline and shoulder pads. Okay, this dress I'm in love with. I could not believe someone left it in the bin because there are definitely lots of vintage hunters there when I go, and you know, I never come across like a vintage tee or stuff like that because they're a hot commodity. But I was surprised to find this laying in a bin. I spied it and thought, oh, I hope that's a Gunny Sacks. It is not, unfortunately, but it's, for me, second best. There is no label. I can't even find a spot in here for there to be a label, so, you know, maybe it was a Gunny Sacks dress. I don't know, but I'm doubtful. I have sold a few in the past, and this, I think the quality is just like a dash under where it should be for like a Gunny Sacks dress. I don't think it's handmade though. And just because the stitching and like all the detail is so perfect, like it's absolutely straight along like every single seam, and to me that doesn't necessarily speak homemade, and there would, I think, be other indicators if it were homemade. So if it was, someone did an exceptionally great job with this, but I definitely think it was a production dress. However, the sleeve's pretty good, but this sleeve has some discoloration. Maybe you can see it there. It's very tiny, definitely fits like an extra small, that prairie cottagecore style. I would definitely say it's probably 70s style and more of a midi length. So this was a fun piece to find. I was glad it was still there for me. Okay, and my next like absolute favorite find is a vintage set. So two-piece sets are my dream to find. I love them so much. I rarely come across two-piece sets, but when I do, and this is a trouser set. So this set here, I'm trying to buckle the belt. So is a pair of pants, this florally cottagecore, pleated high-rise pant, and it's got a little bit of, it's a fabric that's got a little bit of a stretch, but not like a legging stretch. But they are super fun, and it does have an elastic waist, fully elastic waist with this matching belt. Just absolutely the most fun thing in the world. And then the top is actually a kind of crop top, so you do get a little bit of midriff in there if you're going to wear it without an undershirt. It does have shoulder pads. It's a size medium, and let's see here, I guess it's a cotton poly blend, and there's the label. So this is absolutely such a fun find, and I love finding these sets like this. So I will say that when I do find sets, they're not always quick sales. You know, sometimes I have to hold on to them for quite a while to get what I want for them, or to even get in the ballpark of what I want from them. And so I'm okay with that. I'm okay with holding on to items like those if they're going to go to the right home and someone who actually is excited about them. And so that's always fun. And then this next piece is a vintage silk beaded top. I love finding dresses in this style. I haven't really sold many tops, I don't think any maybe. So this one is a silver sequined and these pearl beaded. It has a very little flaws. I think there's a couple of missing beads, and then there's the label. It is lined, size small, just really fun. And then here we go with some more modern pieces. Altered State. This is, I did find the style name on this, and again, I was surprised to find, actually I think the style name was right in on the label with this, which was fun. It's called the Day Tripper dress. It's a very casual linen blend dress with this pinstriped, just a fun style, and it has side pockets, which is so great. Just reminding me of a beach and wanting to be on a boat or something somewhere. Okay, Columbia fleece pullover, extra large. Kind of a sage green color. This is a loft, extra large. I guess it's Ann Taylor loft. Gray, leopard print, just lightweight pullover. It is, I think, a wool blend or a merino wool blend. I don't remember. One of those, but it does have light washwear. Oh, it's just wool. Does have some light washwear, very, very light. Like there's a couple snags, but otherwise really good condition. Okay, this is another piece. Again, heavy, but worth it. I love me a good leather jacket, and this one is like so buttery soft. And it's a very kind of rare size for me to find in leather jackets for women. So it's a 4XL. That little label's way up here. You can barely see it. 4XL. And it's the brand American Base. But it's just a gorgeous leather, and it has very little signs of wear. So I could not leave this behind. Just, it's such a classic fit. Like, I just wish I could wear a jacket like this every day, but you can't. Not in Minnesota. So if I could, I would. Oh, it just feels incredible. So that was a fun find. I actually had asked the person next to me, who was clearly a vintage t-shirt boy, and I say boy because he's like 10 years younger than me. Anyway, I was like, are you gonna take that? Because there's only supposed to be one person a bin. Like before COVID, you could just like go crazy, but now there's supposed to be one person per bin. Not everyone follows that rule, but I try to keep my hands to myself, and so he let me take that leather jacket. Here we go. Here's another Ann Taylor loft piece. This one is a size small. It is new with tags. It retailed for $60. And it's just a knit skirt. Really nice piece. It is lined, but career wear. Cute. Some more career wear. This is Banana Republic. Size 12. And they are kind of a trouser pant. And they have this faux leather piping and elastic waist, so nice cozy piece. And Carhartt. People are always snatching up Carhartt at the bins, and I was shocked that this was still there. Again, a size, or a good size, extra extra large, and it had the lightest bit of pilling, and I was able to sweater shave it really easily because it is the 80% lamb's wool, which I find usually shaves pretty well. So full zip up, front pockets, and just a very nice piece. And then this here is a vest, kind of a quilted puffer vest with the Southwest design. It's a size large. I don't know if you saw the label in there. So there we are. And back to more of the vintage that I found in the same bin as most of the other pieces. This is a vintage, like probably late 70s, early 80s style dress, I'm guessing. And it is a size junior 7, but definitely fits like a women's extra small. It is this two like tone here, white and pink. Very much spring and summer. A little bit of pleating here at the front, and this surplice, I guess, neckline. And it has a side zipper, so it's a really cute piece. It has the belt loops for a belt, but no belt. And more. This one's very similar to that one that was missing a button. However, this one has all the buttons, but it does have like a mark here. It did have its dry cleaning tags when I found it, so whoever had these pieces, it definitely took care of them. This is a 910, and it's this pale pink. It'd be so pretty for Valentine's Day. And I feel like a piece like this with the button front, even that other button front one, could be worn as like a duster. Like you could wear jeans and maybe like a cute crop or something under it. Dress it up kind of in a different way. So shoulder pads, they can be taken out, but I kind of like the look of the shoulder pads in these anyways. And that scallop neckline again. So this one, I actually really kind of want to keep this one for odd reasons. So it is black, long sleeve, mock neck, very black, just it has this like faux wrap waist detail, more of a midi maxi length, and this is giving me like witchy vibes. Like someday when I dress up for Halloween, this would be the perfect dress just because it's like so black. Like it's just the sleeves, the mock neck. You could get like this big emerald necklace and the pointy witch hat, and I just feel like it'd be the perfect costume dress. So I think I put in like the description like gothic, just because it's so much black going on, but I really love it. And if it doesn't sell by next October, I think I'll be a witch for Halloween. I think that'd be pretty fun. Okay, so this is another very bright floral from the 80s, early 90s era, and it's a lot. There's a lot happening here. It's hard to see here, but there's kind of this, I don't even know what this is called. It's like flat, and then there's some gathering here at the hips, and it's got this dolman, oversized like dolman sleeve, high neck. This is a very common, actually some of those other pieces were the same label, the black dress and I believe the pink one were this label All That Jazz, which is very common to find. And it's rayon, back zipper, and just a fun, crazy piece. This, I am sad to say, I did not find the matching piece. The label does say that it was a two-piece set. However, I only found this piece of the set. I did pick it up though because of this corally color, which is in really good condition, and it's kind of got this nautical design to it. I think with a pair of like high-waisted white pants, or high-waisted pants I guess in general, black would be fun too. This would be just a really fun like outfit, and it is semi-cropped and more of like a size medium-ish. So I bet there was a pair of coral pants that went with this. I bet it was incredible. And it looks like there's some shoes over there that I forgot to bring up here. But this is an Old Navy dress. It is a linen blend again, and I love this kind of dusty rose color. It's a button front all the way down, midi length, and it's such a classic style. I love these style of dresses. You can layer them so many different ways, and then it has this smocked backing, which is so great if you need a little bit more room there in the bust or waist. And the shoes, I don't think I'm going to be able to grab because they're much out of my reach. But I found 2 pairs of shoes. There's a pair of, I think, Tom, like, little heeled booties, and then a pair of Dolce Vita tall riding boots. And that's basically what I found during this trip. And I was overall really happy to find all of these items in an hour and a half. I was at the regular Goodwill earlier in the week on Monday, and I think I spent 2 hours and found like 10 items. So there's definitely a big advantage for me of going to the bins time-wise versus going to a regular thrift store. So if you have a bins in your area or the Goodwill outlet, which is what I think you can Google them and find them as, a lot easier, I would highly recommend giving them a try and going more than once because they can be a lot to take in. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time.